Blessed love and welcome to another video. This is going to be part 2 to the first part where I spoke about the difference in nursing, the difference between Jamaica and America, my experience. Again, remember, this is my experience. I don't want anybody to come for me and tell me X, Y, and Z. This is my experience, all right? So, part 2. So, in the first video, if you haven't watched it yet, I'm going to try to see if I can put it in the description, the link, or you can just go ahead, go to my channel and watch all of my videos. Nobody watch one day alone and watch all of them. But you can go back and watch that video where I talk about the difference between Jamaica and America in nursing as it pertains to, I think I spoke about the compensation, I spoke about the workload and just the overall, feeling of togetherness and units and so on. You can go ahead and watch that video. But in this video, I had some other thoughts and I'll just share them right now. So another difference, big difference when it comes on to this is the technology. And that's just a given when it comes on to everything and technology in America versus Jamaica. And this is when I make these comparisons, I don't want it to be taken out of context. I don't want it to be taken, I don't want nobody take offense to it. I am not bringing down or tearing on Jamaica, none at all. I am just saying these are the differences. So technology, for example, one of the biggest changes that I had to deal with was charting. So in Jamaica, we know what we call docket. We write in docket, we write on paper. Doctors writing orders, I write prescription, writing on paper. When I came to America, that was no more. Not no name paper. You understand? All documentation, everything pertaining to patients, everything pertaining to orders, everything is now on the computer. And I had to just wrap my brain around that. So we use a system that we call Epic. It's a software. And it's pretty, after you get used to it, it's pretty straightforward. And you do all your charting there, all vital signs, all doctors' orders, every correspondence with pharmacy, with other departments, with physiotherapy, everybody writing their notes, every progress note, everything is written in Epic. Yeah? So that took me a while to get used to, but after you get the hang of it, 1, 2, 3. Trust me, 1, 2, 3. Because right now, I can't imagine going back to paper. That is just a reality. When you get used to certain things, it's like you get used to having, say, for example, an iPhone 14, and then say you have to go back to a banger. Like, you understand? But yeah, so the technology, and the technology not just with charting, but just technology in general, like with just the machines that are used, different devices that just make your life easier as a healthcare provider, as a nurse, as a doctor, whatever you are. The technology is just here to make your job easier, to make things go faster, and just so you can have, you can provide better patient care. So the technology, that's one. I wrote them down. Hold on. Resources, that's number 2. So 1, technology, 2, the resources. Funny story. So remember the first time, while I was training and I had to change a dressing, or I had to remove some sutures. Normal people call it stitches. Same thing when we call stitches, the correct term is sutures. So I had to remove some sutures. And we have what we call suture sets or suture kits. And when you open the little packet, you have your scissors, you have a forceps, and you have gauze and some other little things, right? But I remember the first time I had to change or to remove a suture, and when I take out the stuff them out of the kit, I'm cut the suture and thing and do my thing and whatever. And I was about to put it down so that we could go sterilize it. I remember the nurse say, because I was training at this time, and the nurse said, no, throw it away. I mean, I wanted me here good enough. I say, pardon? She said, yeah, throw it out. I'm really stand up there for a good while, and I wonder if she was saying throw out the gauze, because I say I could have never, the scissors and the forceps, she said I must throw it. And she said, no, throw it out. It's when I throw the forceps in the garbage bin, and here we go, clang, cling, clang. All me see are the dollar signs. All me see is the waste in my mind, right? Because in Jamaica, all these things like we use for dressings and so on, forceps, scissors, all of them something here, we don't throw them out. It's not a one-use thing. We put them aside and we sterilize them, and we have autoclave machines, right? We have autoclave machines in the different hospitals. And the thought of that, it just blew my mind. If you know, say, these are perfectly fine forceps, perfectly fine scissors, and we just throw them out after one use. So when it comes down to resources, the resources are here. Sometimes I think it's a waste, but if them have the money to do it, that's their business. So that's the next thing. Healthcare in America is big business. There's a lot of money being thrown around. So you know, in Jamaica, for example, we have free healthcare. That don't exist here. You understand? That doesn't exist here. It's not free healthcare. If you don't have your insurance, if you don't have Medicare, you get knocked. You understand? Big money. Even with insurance, sometimes where you have to pay out of pocket to get certain things done, big money. So because the money is here, the resources are here. When I say them have something for everything, that's all. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'd have to give you specific examples, but just for example, the suture kit, you have little kits for everything, and then one use, and you throw it out. So resources are here like nothing compared to Jamaica. And again, not knocking Jamaica, it is what it is. Yeah? So that's resources. Number 3, customer service. There's a major focus here on customer service. Not so much in Jamaica. Here, because again, healthcare is big business, it is treated as such. So the patient is seen as a customer, versus in Jamaica, the patient is seen as a patient. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Here, the patient is like a paying customer. So the same approach where them have to customer service in a Wendy's or a McDonald's or another restaurant or a clothes store or whatever the approach when them say the customer is always right is a similar approach or the same approach here in healthcare. Yeah? So is a double set. There are two sides to the coin. So one is a good thing because people for treat people well. People must speak to people properly. People must understand that they're providing a service and all of that. That's all well and fine. That's good. But on the flip side, sometimes people must be put in their place. And I'm not saying people must be disrespected. I'm not saying people must be abused. I'm not advocating for that. But what I'm saying is sometimes you have to put people in them place. You have to make boundaries. Not just because you're a patient and I'm a nurse and I'm supposed to be providing care for you, mean that you are supposed to be able to talk to me anyhow. And I've observed that a lot of nurses, them take certain treatment, and I understand why, because of their job security. Them want to make sure say them have them job. So them not going to allow no little face the people to make them lose them job, which is understandable. You understand? So when it comes down to that, sometimes I wish a better line would have been drawn in how people are able to speak to healthcare workers. Understand what I'm saying? So it's not that I'm advocating for violence, abuse, whatever. You can treat patient anyhow, but at the same time, the patient must have respect for the healthcare worker as well. So customer service is a major thing here. The last thing that I thought about was education and teaching. When I started working here, there was a thing that they call a learning specialist that was assigned to me. Every new hire, you are assigned to a learning specialist. Every unit has a learning specialist. Well, that's where I was working, right? And this person's job is a nurse, is a registered nurse, but this person's job is simply to train new hires and staff that is there already. Train to use new technology, train to use new devices, train to do different procedures that you may not be familiar with. For example, you might have a patient with a tracheostomy and you don't have that every single day. So say for example, once every 3 months, every 4 months you have a tracheostomy, you may be kind of shaky when you come on to how to care feet and so on. That learning specialist helps you or is a resource to guide you through the process. That is their job. So when it comes on to keeping your skills sharp, you have a learning specialist there to help you. This learning specialist also guides you as regards to hospital policy and just nursing care in general. Yeah? So we get modules to do ever so often. I have to do them every year, and these things, you know, remind you of policy, remind you of best practices, and so on, and you go on, so on and so forth. But you have a learning specialist that is responsible for that. So when it comes on to just resources, education wise, it's there, it's accessible. You know, them have modules and courses online that you can access for free that the hospital provides, and you can sharpen up your thing, you know. So when it comes down to teaching and that kind of thing, education, there's a big emphasis here, and that's a good thing. Versus in Jamaica, yes, you have you have like, what you call it now? You have to get like hours each year. You have to renew your nursing license. You have to do some hours, and you have to go back to classroom setting and learn some things and so on. But it's not like here. It's more ongoing. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah. So teaching. So yeah, those things are some other things that I remembered or that I thought about as regards to the difference between Jamaica and America as regards to nursing. So the teaching, the technology, the resources, and the customer service. Yeah. So again, this is just part 2. If you have not yet watched part 1, go ahead and watch part 1. I'm going to try to link it down below, or just go back to my channel and look for part 1. Yeah. So once again, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Remember, every time I post a video, watch it from the start to the end. But skip, you know. Watch it from the start to the end. Yeah. So blessings. Thank you. Take care.